Call me Epic One, I'm straight entertaining ya. When it comes to the freestyles, yo, I set it off for something mania. When it comes to the freestyles, yo, I'll take care of ya. Off of the top, yo, this is how I do my thing. When it comes to the flows I bring, yo, I'm riding with Brianna, but her name is Bree. But when it comes to the flow, I'm cool as a breeze. When it comes to the flow, you wouldn't understand it like speaking Japanese. And no doubt, man, I just got my own language. Over this hip-hop stuff, yo, I spit stuff that's been established. Over the times, I got the greater flow. When it comes to the frequency, you can pick it up just like on the radio. I can do it again, no need to pretend. You can catch me live on 88.7 FM, so I'm just showing you how it's done. Yo, I'm a son of a gun. If you don't know who I am, well, I'll tell you I'm Epic One. And when it comes to the freestyles, I outlast. I'm not an outcast, but you should check out the girls' podcast. Coming up, when it comes to the freestyles, I'm the best. And they call me Epic One, I'm always on a verbal quest. Nothing like a mess, but my freestyles will get it great. Making no mistakes, but I'm jammed up here on Lake Street. When it comes to the flow, I made this great beat. When it comes to the freestyles, yo, it takes heat to recognize where it comes from. When it comes to the flow, I let it out like the sun above the clouds. How you like me now when I'm rocking styles? That's off the top, and I'm only going about 1.6 miles. Give it a go, I'm going with it. The rap styles is clean, so it isn't explicit. You'll be there in about 14 minutes. Give it a go, ripping the flow off the top of the dome. Yo, from the coast down to the gold. That's how it goes off the top when I'm rocking the spot. Yo, this street right here looks like a parking lot. Yo, so I should make an exit when I flex this. When it comes to the freestyles, when I drop it so impressive, they couldn't finish my sentence. But I'ma wrap it up, just like a Christmas gift. The freestyle that I spit for Brianna, yo, it's been legit. So hopefully after this trip, yo, if you enjoyed what I did, well, the greatest appreciation is leaving me a tip. It's not the one.
Whoa! Straight off the dome. Y'all weren't ready. I wasn't ready. Oh.
Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Brianna, and you've tuned in to another episode of Live Out Loud, the web series and video extension of Virtual Style Mania, where you can find vlogs, behind-the-scenes footage, real discussions on various topics, as well as interviews and collaborations with people from all walks of life living their best lives out loud. Today I have a very special guest, hip-hop group LOVKWEST. I'd like for each of you to introduce yourselves with your name and the part you play in the group.
I'm Kwest. I'm Batman.
My name is Breezy. I'm also Batman.
Excellent. Excellent. So tell me, when did you first fall in love with hip-hop, and when did you write your first rhyme?
You've probably been writing before I started, so you should go first. How long
Yeah,
you been
no, I've been writing since the year 1998. You know what I mean? I was 8 years old. My aunt, she sat me down and helped me write, you know. For at first, we used to redo songs. So I used to redo Push It and make a song called Cook It, just trying to be funny, right? So then my aunt was like, man, let me show you how to write actual raps. And so she sat me down and we wrote this rap called Brutus about a bully and all of that stuff. And then, you know, we filmed it. So she just kind of got us hyped out the beginning. And after that, I've been writing ever since.
Nice.
Yeah, probably around the same time. I was 13 years old, just looking for a voice in the world, had been through a lot, and music was just a real way for me to speak and to express some stuff that I didn't know how to say otherwise. And I was hearing other MCs and artists who were saying stuff like, man, that's exactly how I want to say that. That helped me to have you say that. And so I just started doing the same thing. My first rap was Elevators. I wrote over Outkast Elevators.
Nice.
And just changed out anytime it said Andre or Big Boy with like Quest Child. That was my name when I first started. So
Super cool. So tell me, how long have you all known each other, and when did you all meet?
I met this guy in high school. He was ahead of me, and they had like in the lunchroom, you know, you had the ciphers, you had everybody was a rapper. I think everybody still is a rapper. Okay. You probably got an album you coming out with. Everybody got an album. Y'all got albums right now. So you know, but folks back then, like, you couldn't record or do that. Like, you had to freestyle, and this was one of the best in the school. And when I came in as a freshman, everybody was like, oh man, TJ, what they used to call it, and he had 10 other rap names, So I met him just from being outside the cipher, and just like going, wow, because remember, I'm just this dude who's just figuring out rap and all of that, but he was killing it, doing amazing. And then at a youth group at church, like he would tell folks about, oh yeah, I'm performing at this youth group, at church. Like, what? But then I went, and it was cold. Like, what they were doing was like really dope. Yo Posse was the name of the group, and so I joined that, and he took me under. I became basically a sidekick, a hype man for them, and then slowly they were like, okay, now you got to write a rap, you got to do something now. So that's how we met.
Yeah, that was what, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow, so y'all been in this together that long.
Deep in the game.
That's
All
right.
right, so tell me about your musical influences, like.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to hip hop, you could hear it. It's Common, it's Most Def, it's Tribe, it's that like conscious music that I grew up with and just influenced me so much and taught me to talk about the world as it was. But also like Snoop was the first, Doggy Style was the first album I remembered all the words to. Like I love Snoop, I love the Brat. Bone Thugs was like, you can't tell me nothing about them. Like I will hear no Bone slander. Like for real, I will tolerate none of it. I love them,
Yeah.
I'm pretty much around the same era, but I had the kind of like my first tape I had was called Crushing by Fat Boys, and as a fat boy, I definitely resonated, with the group, the Fat Boys. And so I was like, hey, they're speaking to me. So I come from a long generation of fat rappers, you know what I'm saying? Like Heavy D, Heavy D's so underrated. But like I used to listen to a lot of Heavy D because that's all my mother, Heavy D didn't curse back in the day. So that's all my mother used to play. So a lot of my style I got from Heavy D. You know what I mean? A lot of the Biggie style came from Heavy D and that connection with Diddy. So Heavy don't really get his flowers, but so did the Fat Boys Crushing thing. The first song that I memorized was "I Need Love" by LL Cool J, and I was just when I'm alone in my room, sometimes I stare at the wall, and I'm just a kid rapping about stuff I don't know nothing about. But it was those my influences for what really pushed me to change and really do like positive music and stuff like that. Honestly, was DMX. And he used to do like basically a gospel rap song on every album. And I was like, man, if I can make my stuff sound like this, then I can rap at the youth groups, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So I kind of flipped it on that. Like DMX was a huge influence on me. And here we are.
Dope, super dope. I kind of want to tie into that too, because you all basically you minister through music too, and I know it's in a way where it's not overbearing. It's cool. It's real and it's relatable. And so how do you strive to reach your audience, and I guess a Christian audience where I guess it's not like you're overbearing or like trying to stuff a message into people's face, really, I guess.
Yeah, I don't really take we don't take the path of stuffing like the message into the music. We rap about what comes from us. And so me and Kwest had a conversation within the last couple of years about growing with our audience and actually rapping about the stuff that we're doing. I was a battle rapper at first, so he talks about seeing me at school and then seeing me at church, and I was spitting drastically different raps at the time. You know what I'm saying? So once I got a lot of as I'm rapping about the church stuff, it starts to get in me, and I'm just like, man, I can't really in all conscience rap about two different lives as if I'm doing both of them. Like I wasn't. I was calming down, and I was it was really having an effect on me. So that has to come through the music. And so we just kind of emulate. We don't force a image. We just project who we are.
So super dope. Feel that. And so I want to say, like, what is your favorite song off of LOVKWEST, your latest album?
Ooh, favorite. I think there are two 3, 4, 5, 6.
Right.
I don't remember any good. So
Yeah, it's a short project, so go check it out first of all, because LOVKWEST is worth your time. I like One Day. I like One Day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just again, it feels like authentically us, just like what we would want to say, whether we were in a church or in a cipher or wherever we are. Like, this is what I want to say right now. This is how I feel about, hey, we got these dreams. All right, let's go. Like, what you gonna do next? All right, come on, let's go. You know, so I like that. I like that record.
Yeah.
I know which one you're gonna say. Which one you gonna say? Let me see.
Please tell me which one I'm gonna say.
Broken Crayon Still Color.
I wasn't about to say that.
What?
No?
Because that's the one I like.
Okay.
I love that one too.
It's a tie. It's a tie. Broken Crown Still Color and Lean on Me.
Yeah.
You know, like Lean on Me, just kind of the way that it happened.
Yeah.
And, you know, I came in and he had already had it laid. I think that was originally for like your solo project.
Yeah.
And so I came in the studio and he just, the hook already ready. I just need something I could lean on. And it's the flow of it and the beat and just how that goes just really hits me. Broken Crayon Still Color, it was like a pet project for me. It was like something I always wanted to talk about, something I also like. We switch off on really who brings, you know, the idea, and it's like, oh, I got a verse, I can do something to that. So, yeah, Lean on Me, I probably get Lean on Me the slight edge, but Broken Crayon Still Color is super strong.
Yeah, it's funny that you all picked those because I was gonna say Broken Crayon Still Color, and then the one that you said, One Day, yes. What I liked about, I love everything. I love the title, the hook, the verses. I like how we get your story and we get your perception on life, and you just talking about the various things that you see. And for me, that was the one that I had on repeat a lot. I really like that one. And One Day, I like that because I feel that's kind of where I am with trying to get everything going with my life and build and grind. But you talk about how, you know, everybody's like, oh, one day you're going to do this, but are you really going to do it?
Right.
So
Look at you right now doing it.
That's it. And,
look at you all doing it.
and we just got to keep doing it. That's the thing. Like, we gonna, this not the end. I know you got more questions, but like, what's next? We gonna keep doing it.
Yes.
You're gonna do another episode. We're gonna do another album. We're gonna keep going. And everybody watching, it doesn't matter how many right now, it'll be more the next time. It's like you just keep growing and building and staying encouraged because you know it's in you to do.
Yeah.
You know, like it's the music is just in us to do. I'm pastoring, doing all this other stuff. He's organizing, doing all this other stuff that's going on in life. Husbands, dads, all of that. But it's like, this is still a part of who we are. This is always going to be a part of what it means for us to be healthy humans. We got to be making and letting y'all hear some music. You know, that's period. It's got to be happening.
Yes.
So.
And what you all did was, I would say legendary with the film and the album together.
I'll go with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good word.
It's some legendary Chi-Town stuff that y'all did.
With a capital L, preferably.
Yes.
But, yeah.
I love it because I kind of feel like music videos is becoming somewhat of a lost art that a lot of artists are getting away from. Every now and then I see a video that I was like, oh, that was clever, that was tight, but it's not often, you know. I feel like it's few far in between. And music videos used to be such a big deal, like in the 80s. I guess Michael Jackson kind of set the bar with that, and you paid a homage to him. In one of your videos, we'll get into that. That was super dope.
Okay.
But yeah, like that was my favorite thing to watch growing up were music videos.
Right.
And people made a big production back in, like, you know, with Hype Williams, but like people used to really go all out and would be creative for their videos.
You spent $1 million on a video.
$1 million.
Like,
it was crazy.
And it was nothing. It was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to spend $1 million on this video.
Like what Missy Elliott used to do, like the music. Michael Jackson, like, people don't do it like that, like the choreography, the costumes, everything. And so I was so excited to see that you all had made a film to go with your album.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to go and hear about the creative process for that and how long it took for you all to put it all together.
It took a while. Yeah. I mean, the conversations probably started a year before we actually had like a finished product. So even a year is like not a long time, you know, in the creative process, as you know. But it really just started with us saying like two things. One, we feel like as artists, as musicians, we are very different from other rappers and from the other music that's out there, and that if people can hear it and really like, oh, Verbal Quest, that they would hear it and be like, oh, Lean on Me, good, that's colder than anything, right? Like, what are we talking about right now? Like, so we knew we needed to put something out, and we knew that like we couldn't pick one song. Like we were kind of telling this story throughout the album. And that stuff happens as a part of making the album. You start with just a couple songs, then you hear a thread, then it's like, okay, we're going to piece it all together. And so for us, we just sat down and said, all right, what would it mean to just like take a little bit? And at first we were thinking like, I think we were thinking like 30 seconds from each song. It's going to be very short, like to do it. But then like we sat down, started writing stuff out, and it was like, no, let's tell a story. And let's do all of this song, but only a piece of this song, and that's when the fun happens in the creative process, when you know like we got something. So now let's figure it out, because at the beginning you don't know if you got anything. You just like, this feels okay, but after a while we really knew like, yeah, and we worked with some dope people, Don Baptiste and Jam and some other folks who like put their creativity to our ideas too. Like they saw it, and creativity is always collaborative. That's why I don't ever mind hearing if a rapper had got writers in there with him or her or whatever, because it's like you need people who are around who like, no, you should say it like this, you know, you should do it. Oh no, that idea is dope, but what if you took this and did that? That's what made that film really special to me.
I think I like the process, and you know, like part of the process I was kind of checked out on. I was going through like some, you know, personal stuff at the time, but I came back to it, and it was kind of such a fluid process, you know what I mean? Whereas like when we started filming, we didn't know what the end was going to be, you know, and so people were able to build and add to it, which created kind of an organic feel, and then it also gave it, it also made it a little wider so that a lot of people could get a lot of different things, but everybody's experience will still be authentic. So I've gotten perspectives from people about it that were completely different, but they were both right.
Yeah.
Super dope. So I will say, with this film, it stayed true to Chicago, and you are all able to touch on some very important issues that we face here in Chicago. What did that mean for you to express that through music and film?
It's the crib, you know, like this is home. So anything that we do is gonna be an extension of where we come from, of the people who we are around every day. Like we got to answer to them. That's who we accountable to. You know, we're accountable to Chicago. So we got to, our leadership is here. This is where we offer our lives. This is where we're growing up our families. And so, like, of course we're gonna tell Chicago stories. And there's stories that end up being universal. You know, one day is for wherever. Broken Crayons Still Color, you know, what he's talking about with relationships and your love, you know, that real verse, like, that hits anybody. That's not like a Chicago verse. Yeah. But it's that truth that's then put through our lens, that's put through our experience. I can't tell a California story. Yeah. I could tell a story to people in California, but I can only tell a Chicago story. Yeah.
Everything we do, Chicago bleed through us.
Yeah, absolutely. Very true. So I guess to go back to your musical influences, if you could meet one of your favorite musical influences, have a conversation with them, or maybe even do a collaboration with them, who would you choose?
Prince.
Yes.
That's not a question for me.
Yeah.
That's not a question.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I was being polite and letting you finish, but like I wanted to just scream Prince when you were saying it.
You should do it again. Go ahead and ask a question. Just go.
Who would you do?
Prince.
Yeah, see, it's like that. Yeah. It really is like that for him.
It's like that.
It's Prince. The answer is Prince. Period. I have a time. My mother was a DJ, so growing up, I had so many musical influences that it's not even like I just had a ton. But so I'll pick somebody who's alive who I might actually be able to collaborate with now. You know, I'll pick Common. That was somebody who really influenced me. Who every time I'd met him, have thanked him. You know, and like the third time I meet him, I need to ask him, can we do something? Like I said thank you enough.
Yeah,
you, you can never say thank you too much, but also like you heard me say thank you. Yeah. Let's go. Like
you know my face by now. Let's get in the studio. Let's
you know we here already. Like let's do this.
Last time I met Common, I looked him in the face and told him I was the GOAT.
I read that.
Yeah.
Like he laughed.
He's like, "Oh, you an MC?" I said, "No, I'm the GOAT."
He laughed.
Yeah, he laughed a little bit.
Yeah.
I did not.
Did not.
Yeah.
Stop.
Appreciate you. Can you sign my book?
Right. So we want to work, Com. We want to work, man.
All day.
Or I think you gotta be friends to call him Rashid. We're not friends, but we want to be.
Yeah.
Because we're dope. All right.
You all should be. And I'm glad that you all know that you're dope. And that's something else that I noticed in the album. You all had affirmations. Like I heard, you know, I'm beautiful, handsome.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm glad y'all say that. Because I'm like, do men tell themselves that? That's important. There's, you know, women doing, you know, the self-empowerment. They say it to themselves, but it's good to hear men.
We be acting like we don't want to hear it, but we want to hear it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So they'll tell you handsome. You're like, man, shawty, chill. You know,
For real.
No.
I tell him he smells good every time he actually smells good.
Smell good. Yeah.
I tell him.
It's shower day.
Because
Y'all always
that's
catch me on
important.
shower day.
That's especially important because, like, COVID separated us from all of those moments where you would get those affirmations where somebody in Walgreens would just be like, you catch them looking at you, and that would give you a little serotonin, a little bump, right? You'd be like, oh, okay, we ain't gonna do nothing, it's all good, right? But you got that little bump that would keep you from that dark place, you know, and COVID stole that from us.
Yeah, it really
It
did.
stole that from us. So now, like, we got to get it from the people who are actually in our circle, and we see now. So, like, I'm very intentional about letting my brothers know that they're ill. Like, y'all are dope. All right, y'all are amazing. You're very handsome. You smell good. You know, like all of that, because they need that.
Yeah.
I need that.
Yeah.
You know, I need that.
I think it helped me was like hearing stuff from the people that count. You know what I mean? A lot of times we look for validation from strangers, which is cool, you know what I mean? But from the people that count, it's different when he says something, you know, than it is when, you know, somebody that doesn't know me say something. And he could, you know, tell me, he knows where it comes from, you know what I mean, and where it's going to. So other than that, and COVID with me was about embracing my passions and being passionate about the stuff that I love, you know what I mean? Sometimes we afraid to look silly, or we're afraid to look like we're too into stuff and we're just very cool, and it's like, no, like I started cooking during COVID and just like really going in on cooking with the best ingredients and doing different recipes and cooking stuff that I've never eaten before. So like, you know, embracing all my passions, man, and feeling good about life, because man, it can, being in the dark for a while can kind of dull everything. So passion lighted back up. And the music, so much music got done during COVID.
Yeah, so that was, I guess, one light that came out of COVID was it was a great time for people to kind of tap into themselves creatively.
Right.
And do some things that they normally wouldn't do when they were in the regular hustle and bustle of their daily grind. And, you know, just kind of do a reset and check back into yourselves. So, creatively, you said that really kind of helped, that time helps you all to kind of tap into those gifts.
Yeah, just being able to sit with myself and listen to myself differently. New ideas, new songs come up, new processing, because I get to now process a lot slower.
Yes.
As opposed to, oh, I got an hour where I can sit and do this, work on a song, do that. Okay, then I got a meeting or whatever. Now it's like, I got 3 days.
Yeah.
To see what this beat is saying, to see how I'm feeling right now, to really, like, stuff can soak. You know, it's like your laundry, right?
Yeah.
Like when that joint soak, your shirt smell different, you know? And that's how I feel about, like, my whole life. But I also recognize that, like, as nice as I smell right now, because I've been soaking for 2 years, that a lot of people are not comfortable sitting with themselves. that can be a really scary place and can bring up a lot of stuff that took a lot of people down even further, even darker, and took some people out.
Yeah.
You know, and so like when you talk about like what we do and living out loud and like what that means for us, it really is like an opportunity to go alongside people wherever they are. You know, like wherever they are in that journey, church, whatever, like here, let's offer this to you. You know, here's a piece of our story. Here's something that might resonate with you. Let us tell you, you know, what we think about you, how dope you are, how powerful you are. You a child of God, all of that, you know, because you got stuff to do. You know, you got stuff to do. And sometimes like just having those companions to go alongside you can make the whole difference. And I'm especially appreciating that more about our music because we've always tried to be those companions, you know, in the journey of life. And that's something that folks need more than ever right now. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, and during that time, we figured out, for one, who we are and got a real good look at what we're surrounded with. Because whereas you know, you're locked in a room now, and you really look at your surroundings like, all right, I got good friends who are going to encourage me and say this thing, but a lot of people weren't. A lot of people were locked in a room with the problem. A lot of people were locked in a room with toxicity.
Yes.
A lot of people were locked in a room with themselves and, you know, had to face themselves and look at themselves in a way that you can only do when you slow down. And so the music that we made, I think at that time spoke to that. That's where Broken Crayon Still Color, you know what I mean, type of thing comes from.
Yeah.
And, you know, we want to talk to that stuff. We want to talk about that stuff. And we kind of want to be that positive thing that you're locked in a room with, whereas you can put your headphones on and listen to LOVKWEST. You're not going to come out of it a better drug dealer. You're not going to come out of it a better, you know what I mean, twerker. Like, that's not that, you know, and all of that is fine for where it's at. But no, we want to put you in a room with the healing. We want to put you in a room with the solution to some of your problems, so that when it comes time to focus, and you never know when it's going to come, but when that time to focus comes, you're going to be able to focus on the right things.
Yes. Because I definitely feel like LOVKWEST, it was probably a very therapeutic album for you all, and a chance for you to all look within yourselves, really, and that you are sharing that, those revelations that you've had from within with your audience.
We definitely been in some therapy.
And 1,000%.
We definitely been in some therapy, and I fully endorse it, and it's certainly made my ability to write and risk and try all that kind of stuff, you know, on music is changed that. And I think you see that in LOVKWEST. You definitely hear it in the other music that we've been making and stuff that y'all all hear soon. So I'm really excited, really just grateful, really grateful, like to be rocking, you know, let's go.
Yes. Therapy is so important.
It's so important. I wouldn't, it really taught me how to process stuff and just, you know, giving me a deeper understanding of who I am. You know what I mean? At a time where, like in COVID, we lost a lot of people, and that's not really talked about, the rapid rate at which we were losing the people. And if we think that didn't affect us, you know, we're not even able to go to funerals to say goodbye to these people. There's no punctuation at the end of the sentence. It's like we're all just kind of left there emotionally hanging. And if we don't have something to help us to unpack it and then put it back in, you know, in ways that actually work or ways that are healthy for us, because a lot of us are just holding things, and sometimes the only thing that's wrong is that we're holding them the wrong way. Well, we don't have the grip on it that we need to have, and therapy is going to walk you through that and give you the best possible angle to go about wherever it is that you need to go.
Absolutely. I mean, my mind hasn't even completely wrapped around the fact that it's a miracle that we're sitting here. When you look at that number, and this therapy, like this year was like the first time that I really like committed to it and like gave it a fair chance and got able to, you know, unpack some things and, you know, look within myself. And you need that person that doesn't really know you, that you can share everything to.
Exactly.
And, you know, it not be gossip or, you know, backbiting, or that person's, you know, not going to judge you for what you're sharing. So
No, they're gonna take your problems when you're done, and they're gonna put them in the shredder.
Yeah.
They're not carrying them home with them.
Yeah.
But they can go alongside you. They can ask questions without being invested as you are, and it can be really helpful to do that.
Yeah.
I think, and in some ways, like you talked about, like how LOVKWEST is therapeutic for us to make, and making music when it's done, you know, well with a good process is always therapeutic. It always just feels like I'm coming alive. But like the amount of people who have come back to us and said, like, your love in particular, people like guys or reach out to me and be like, man, Bree's verse.
Yeah.
Bree's verse messed with me.
Yeah.
And like, it's therapeutic for them. And you know it because they don't want to talk to him.
Yeah.
Right? They like, because he the one who opened it up for them. Right? They want to talk to me.
Yeah.
Like, hey, tell Bree, man, that was dope. Right? Like that song. And there are other moments on LOVKWEST too, I think, just because of what we're talking about, loving yourself and like really like coming to grips with what's going on with you. But like that messes with folks. Like the stuff he's saying, trying not to beat me, trying to stay out
real.
these streets.
It was
Like that's real. That's real. And you hear that and you like, I remember when my wife heard that for the first time, she was like,
did he say that? He's like,
is
yes,
his
he
wife
said
okay? Like, I don't know if she okay. That man said what he needed to say.
Man, she hates that song.
like
It's so real. It's so real.
it. It's very
and
real.
it's and if
A lot of
it
men
helps
feel that.
anything, and I'll tell her this, you know, like if it helps, so many people have heard that and looked at themselves and their own actions and the ways in which that misogyny and that sexism plays out in relationships in very small ways, but very unhealthy ways,
Yeah.
and have said, she tired. I know what I need. Let her. What does she need?
Yeah.
Like
So
just
a lot of people don't realize I kicked that verse off talking about how irritating I am and
yeah.
how hard I am to deal with.
Yeah.
And I know I am. You know what I mean? And so it's just like, man, grant the people in your life some grace. You know, even when it's when you feel like you might have a gripe or whatever, but like that extra grace comes out and you recognize what other people are doing and what other people are going through as your part. That's really what the song is about.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Granting that extra grace, your love. That's about your love, and it's how you've given all of this love, and just because I don't get the one thing that I feel like I might be able to throw a tantrum about,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, that's when the extra love kicks in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, you said. I guess what a lot of married men, I think. Well, in general, are thinking, and they're not gonna say it out loud. So
I'm gonna say it out loud.
But that's
Yes,
the job though, right?
Yeah.
Like that's when you talk about ministry and stuff, like that's our whole lives, is just speaking that truth that lives within us that we feel is like this holy truth. That was his holy truth in that moment. Like,
I took
man,
bullets to say that. Like, that
I need to do better. He didn't say anything bad about his wife. He was talking about himself, you know, the whole time. Talking about his evolution, how he needed to evolve and change, and how he's trying to make that change, and how difficult that is. How many people can hear that and be like, I know that.
yes.
I know that story. Even if my relationship is just fine, I know it in my job. You know, I know it in other moments of my life where, like, I know I need to do better. But this is not what I want it to be because of me, not because of them. You know,
Yes.
everybody do something in a relationship. So, you know, but like, this is on me. There are some changes that I can make.
Yeah.
And if I can make those changes for the better, then maybe then things will get better, you know. And if he makes those changes, and it's not the case, then the next song got to be about what they doing, you know, whatever. But like, almost always it starts with us, you know. And I think that's something that we see, whether it's in the Bible or anywhere else. Like the change begins with a commitment within.
Absolutely.
Then getting to the next spot, you know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta, like, it's hard to do that without feeling like a sucker. You know what I mean? Like, yo, shorty playing me. You know what I mean? But like, a lot of guys feel that way, but it's like, man, you gotta get to the next thing. It happened eventually. You know what I mean? But you gotta get there.
Yeah.
And you gotta extend grace, the grace that you want, the grace that I get when I'm being a jerk or I'm just being impossible or I'm hard to talk to, that she extends hella grace, you know what I mean, to me on that. And so can't help but give it back.
Absolutely. So we're getting you all's evolution.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it. We growing up. We growing up.
Yep. So you're evolving while your audience also evolves. So
That's it.
evolves with you.
That's it.
That's a beautiful thing. All right. So I actually want to tie into that. I want you all to, you both have your own families and professions and aspirations outside of Verbal Quest. You all want to share a little bit about it?
I talked about it a little bit earlier. I've been pastoring a university church in Chicago for 11 years,
Wow.
which feels unreal to even think about because I know when I first started, I didn't know whether I could even do that.
Yeah.
And now I've been doing it 11 years, but, you know, and been married for the same amount of time and got daughters, you know, girl dadding it up. And, you know, Saturday mornings are filled up, you know, Friday nights music, Saturday morning families. And when it comes to like aspirations, at least for me, it's just to like live the fullest and best version of myself. And whether that's for a couple months, that means I'm in the studio really working through something creatively. Then I want to do that, you know, and I want my family to be cool with me doing that. And I want my job to be cool with me doing that. And there are going to be other times where the holidays, you know, I'm at the church like constantly during the holidays. I need Breathe to be cool with that. I need my family. I need all of that. And there's going to be some times where I'm with my family. I need everything else to be cool with it because this is what it means to be me, you know. So just like living into the fullest and most authentic version of myself and not what they need from me, you know. Let me do what's going to make you okay. I can't do that no more.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Another thing we doing is we taking back everything that we didn't get, everything we dropped on the way to where we going. So I just enrolled back in school. I'm finishing at the prestigious Morehouse College.
Yes.
So, you know, I know a couple people that went there. And, you know what I mean? They're lighting the way. So I'm finishing that degree. I just got a job as a community organizer with an organization called Soul, doing some things in the South Side, kind of attending to the needs of people on the South Side and in the South suburbs of Chicago. So I'm a community organizer now. I got a teenage daughter. You know, my son just turned 9. She's 13, which is crazy to me. But I love our relationship. I love my relationship with my son. Still married, despite the song. You know, we made it through that storm. You know, what else? What else am I? Oh, just living, man, living. I'm getting to it. I'm getting back to myself. I'm getting back to my purpose. And I'm leaving no stone unturned. Like I'm ready to go. And so it all came from that rest. COVID was big rest, and then big. Let's get back out there and do it. So.
Amen. And I was actually going to ask you all, what do you all think is your individual purpose? I feel like you guys kind of told me about that pretty much. So, super dope.
Yeah.
To help people, continue to inspire people, continue to actually help people, not just tell people what to do, but actually be a helping hand, be a resource for people. Man, we just want to be plugged into, you know, to the source, be a bridge from the spiritual to the natural, you know, making sure people getting it.
Absolutely. Great stuff. Excellent stuff. Great interview. And like we here chilling, they're just having a normal, casual, well, I wouldn't say it's casual.
Yeah, it's family when we link up. That's all.
There are lights, so it's not that casual, but it's easy.
Yes.
It's an easy conversation to have.
Yes. Super, super easy. So, is there anybody, like any new artists in particular, any new upcoming artists that you're inspired by or really feeling?
Man, like my favorite workout music artist just died the other day.
Yeah.
Got killed in Memphis.
Yes.
Yeah, Young Dolph. Yeah, man, they put him out, and that that's not sitting good. But it's, you know, he was one of those artists who I would point to, or I would like, you know, all of those Memphis guys. I lived in Memphis for a couple of years, so Memphis rap and the music and the culture, you know, still hits me in a very particular way. So, you know, that's a sad situation. But it's a lot of artists that are coming up that are pretty dope. I can't really put my finger on it right now, but yeah.
I love LOVKWEST. I love Kwest.
Kwest Cole.
Breathe Easy. Don't be mad at him. Don't be mad at Breathe Easy.
Love the shirt.
When you call Breathe Easy for a verse, don't be mad when you go and rewrite your verse after you get his verse. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Just step it up. Just step it up. Because this brother is doing some other things. All right? I've had to step it up, and I made it there. I'm Batman 2 now. So it's all good.
Big Batman vibes.
It's all good. All right? So messing with them. There are a ton of artists, producers who I'm really excited about us sitting down with and stuff. Too many to name. Tall Black Cartoons, Keenan Terrell, folks with, there are too many people. Too many people. Like, but we always want to create and collab. So if you're watching this and you do music, you should reach out to us because we do music. All right.
Big shout out to my nephew who is getting into the family business.
Yeah.
He's doing rap. Von Low out there. I see you, nephew. The boy is cold. I'm working on A&R in his next project.
There we go.
And my brother passed in December, so I want to take some of the money from that to, you know, put in his project, and my brother is going to be the executive producer, you know, on the project. So he left his son with a legacy, and he's joining the family business. And that man sounds good. Very proud of my nephew.
The family business is strong over here. That family business is strong. And of course, shout out to Ty Hill. He produced the album. Mm-hmm. We continue to work with him all the time. Like that's, you know, that's family. You know, so but if we're gonna name other folks, we got to make sure we name Ty. What up? Because that's
family.
That's Jam Master J right there. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's Ali Shaheed Muhammad right there. That's you know. So yeah.
Good brother too. Great beats. So.
Yes, I definitely enjoyed the producer on the album. Super dope.
Yeah.
Wait till you hear what he. Never mind.
You can't do that. Don't do that rapper thing.
And then never mind.
Where it's like all the new stuff is better than the old stuff.
But I hate
Can we do like 15 seconds of just rapper cliches for your interview?
Yes.
You would
Go
need
ahead,
that,
do
right?
it. Yeah.
All right. This project was really introspective for me and allowed me to really dig into a deep place.
No doubt.
And so it really is my most special. It's really the one that's closest to me.
I'm feeling like I'm next up. You know what I mean? I'm gonna put Chicago on the map.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because have you seen the map?
Yeah.
Chicago's on it, but I'm gonna put Chicago on the map. I'm gonna put it on the map. I'm gonna put it on the map.
Map.
Yeah. We are the best kept secret.
Definitely.
In not only Chicago but anywhere.
Yeah.
How are we doing so far? This okay? We got some
But
good.
y'all are though.
We got some good gospel rap ones. Here,
people need to know. More
check
people
this
need to
one
know
out.
about.
Wait for this one.
Let's go.
We don't really see it. We see ourselves as like bigger than Christian hip hop because like we feel like we can touch people outside of the church. Like, you know, so I'm thinking about just changing my name to like just my full government name. Like I don't even like I'm just gonna be me. Because I feel like that's really what I'm supposed to be right now.
I really wish I could do that, but my full government name is weak. Like nobody wants to hear the album by Anthony Lowry. Nobody wants to hear that.
So,
Any more?
anymore
No.
cliches? I think we got it.
I'm at the top of my game right now.
Oh yeah, feeling really good
I'm
right
at the
now.
top of my game right now.
Feeling really good. Came through a tough time and feeling really good right now.
Pressure makes diamonds.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's all we need.
That's it. Check us out. Tell your friends. Now, this is not a cliche. Please, if you made it this far, okay, would you please, like, the thing that, the way we usually, like, in all our interviews end is like, so what's next? We already talked about what's next. We're going to keep doing stuff. You're going to keep doing episodes.
Yeah.
what are you gonna do next? Not only in your life, what are you gonna do to help the creatives who you love? Like, can you tell somebody about this music? Can you go listen to it, share it, put it out on your next story? Go find our music and tag it. Like, do something, because we need the help. Like, all this stuff builds off a base. We go into so many places, and this is not cliche. We go into so many places and talk to people, and they like, this album is incredible, but like, you only got this amount of followers. And I want to like pick up something and throw it through a wall. Like, you can't do that. You cannot do that.
Yeah.
You cannot do that. But that's
legendary.
the
Forget the
economy of the world right now. And so we got to play the game.
Yeah.
And so we're going to play the game, and you're going to help us.
Yes.
Follow us on all platforms. LOVKWEST, KWEST. You know?
Yes. And let's keep talking about that, because there's so much value and work placed on likes and follows. And say, do it for the love. Forget the likes, forget the follows. Think about the purpose behind what you're doing, and everything else is going to follow. Because what you all are doing, like, it's legendary. Like, y'all made a dope film to go with your album, and it's really good. It's excellent, you know?
Thank you. Thank you.
And so, I mean, it's a work of art. So it doesn't really matter the likes, the follows. Just keep doing it. Keep grinding. Keep pushing. Because, I mean, sometimes it can be discouraging. You're doing all this work and you feel like, oh, it's not getting the attention that it's due. It's not getting the respect that it deserves. But you just, I say, you know, put God first and keep grinding. Remember why you're doing it.
Oh,
No, definitely. We don't do it for the likes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm not
we want the
saying
likes.
you
Oh, I
want-
want the likes.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to play the game.
Yeah, you
If
do, but-
if it's not a hobby,
Yeah.
then you know that after you make something, like, you got to get it out to people and make them care about it.
Yeah.
You know, help them see why this is so great.
Yeah.
To prove what you were feeling at night that kept you up at night, writing it in a journal.
Yeah.
You know, like, prove yourself right
Yeah.
by sharing it with those folks. But that's why, like, whenever you see somebody who succeeded, we got to recognize that no one is great by themselves.
Yeah.
There's a team of people who are working, that are grinding to make that happen, so that that person can go and stay in that space where they can be creative and godly and all of that stuff, right? Because these other folks know how to do that. And that's what's tough about being in the space that we're in, because it's independent, which means, like, for most of the time, you doing most of it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You setting the lights up. You setting the audio up. You gonna do the edit. You gonna do, you know what I'm saying? You putting it out. You know, all of that is gonna be you. And then as it grows, more people come around and say, yo, this is dope. How can I help? Mm-hmm. And when that happens, and this is a thing that we've had to learn the hard way, have an answer for them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just be like, oh man, thanks for the support. Shout out. Like, no, I
Actually
dare
support,
somebody
though.
to come and ask me how you can help right now. I got a list.
Anyways, let's go.
Like, I got a list of how you can help right now, you know. So, like, that grind is hard, and sometimes when you see other folks succeeding,
Mm-hmm.
and even when, all right, let's just keep it real, when you know you've got more talent, you know,
Yes.
and they're like, they've got a stronger audience, it can seduce you, if you're not careful, into creating so that you get their audience.
Right.
Your audience is waiting for you to become the best version of yourself. So don't, like, abandon your audience to go and get their audience.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, our audience is over there. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get there. Our audience is right here. You know what I'm saying? We're going to make music for you and continue to do that. And that's going to be that. And what happens happens,
Yeah.
you know, after that. But I know I'll be able to go to bed at night saying I gave my very best effort to try to get this out to the world.
Yeah.
That's
Everybody.
That's
Yeah.
it.
I understand. Because, I understand, because you want people to recognize the art, and then it's finding that balance, I guess, with not getting caught up in it, but still wanting it to take off the way that it should and deserves to.
Yeah.
That's right.
You keep grinding, and one day they'll say, oh, you know, they'll recognize all that talent was stored up, and they'll be like, oh, this is an overnight success, and they can think what they want. But man, overnight took me my whole life. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
And so, you know, it's the same in anything. Like I love how you doing it. You been a fashion icon for the longest, and all of the stuff
I
that
didn't
you've
just
been
start
doing
doing
as
this.
far as fashion, you didn't just start doing it.
It's
And this
not
interview is
overnight.
great. It's
Yeah.
one of the best interviews that we've ever done.
Seriously.
So you're asking all the right questions.